Hi there and welcome. My name is Gail Porter and welcome to Careers TV, putting you on the right path to professional success. In today's programme, we'll be delving into the world of recruitment. And no, we're not talking about that kind of recruitment that ends you up with a crew cut and a machine gun on a plane to Iraq, thankfully. We're talking about the kind of recruitment that's the middle way in between you, the candidate, and you, the employed professional. Every company needs staff to run it. Two may be company, but two usually doesn't make a company. In the modern business world, time is money, and finding the correct people to fit into your business can take time. And if you're in a high-speed industry that requires specifically skilled people, then time it takes to screen and interview dozens of prospective employees is something that you simply can't afford. Step up the person who's come to save the day. No, it's not Mighty Mouse, but it is the mighty recruitment consultant. The basic remit of the recruitment consultant is to match his or her candidates to jobs at client companies in temporary or permanent positions. Now, depending on who those client companies are and what positions need to be filled, jobs on offer may vary from entry-level roles right the way up to company directors and executives of large institutions. The sphere of activity of the recruitment sector is as broad and varied as the business world itself. So many recruitment companies have carved out their own niche specialisations to address the demands of various industries. But whether you're recruiting technical engineers for the hydrocarbon industries or directors to slot into public or private sector organisations, the qualities that you need to do the job well are the same across the board. So, what are they?
I think a career recruitment is a very flexible option for people. It is very much a long-term career for people. You can start off as a trainee recruiter and work your way all the way up to a director of a company. You do see a lot of people who, in a long-term career in recruitment, actually move into owning their own businesses. So you can have your own company and develop and grow that. You also have non-traditional recruitment roles. Those could be anything from moving into a recruitment training role to a business development position, even to roles where you're involved in the sort of organisation and operations of a business. It's not all about recruitment. Also, in recruitment, there's the opportunities to work for large companies as well as small companies, big multinationals to very small independent companies. I would say that the chances are also there for people not only to work in the UK but also to work internationally. At the moment, I'm currently recruiting for roles in Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai, Australia, so there is great chance for to get some travel to go with your recruitment career as well.
Yes, really over the last 20 years, the market in recruitment has grown enormously from about a £10 billion business now turns over about 25 billion in totality, with about 8,000 companies doing recruitment, employing about 100,000 people, finding candidates for companies. So the market's changed enormously over 20 years and is growing up all the time and maturing all the time. So where the development really now takes place is how do those companies really find the candidate for those companies when often the quality is struggling and we're having to source from outside the UK for the people to satisfy the demand of our growth in this country. So companies are setting up global operations to source them. We've opened up in Australia and we've opened up in Ireland to help candidate flow around the world, which it's turned into that now. So the biggest change I've noticed certainly over the last 10 years, it's become much more global, and certainly in the graduate field they have to be more global orientated and go where the right job is, rather than just being quite single-minded saying, oh, I'll have to go and work in London. It's not like that anymore.
Recruitment as a career path for individuals, it's fantastic. You can earn a great standard of living. The basic salaries and bonuses that can be achieved can equate to somebody that's studied for 3 years to be a doctor. It's a fun environment to work in. The rewards and recognition that you can achieve through a career in recruitment is great. And certainly at Search, we operate a complete meritocracy. Those people who get results and achieve are promoted and recognised within the organisation and move throughout. And we've got some fantastic examples, especially with graduates and trainees who've joined our organisation who are now at fairly senior management level as they've progressed throughout the company.
One of the biggest challenges in getting a career in recruitment is actually the competition. It's actually one of the fastest growing sectors out there, but it's also it's one of the most competitive sectors to get into, and rightly so. Within your first 12 months as a recruiter, you can earn between 35 and 40k, and within your second year, most of our consultants are looking around the 65, 70k mark. So you can see with the opportunity, once you actually get your foot in the door to a company that really develops you, the potential is enormous.
Nobody is born into their career. It'd be a pretty strange and messy office if they were, I can tell you. So training is going to be a crucial part of whatever job you decide to undertake. Given that the recruitment world relies on so many different facets of social and business nows, what is the training you receive going to comprise of?
When I first started 2.5 years ago, the training that was provided to me in the first year, I believe, was fundamental in terms of making me into the salesperson I am today. It's like being given a set of tools and a set of instructions and kind of being left alone to dictate your career path. Don't get me wrong, obviously guidance has been given every step of the way, but you're just kind of left to blossom in your own way.
When you take a young graduate onto a job, you have to really develop them because their skills at that stage are very slight, if any at all. So you put them through an induction process for a few weeks, you give them a mentor to work alongside, you put them into a particular team that helps them grow over the first 6 months of their career. After that, they go through the second phase of training, really to get them to the next stage of their career, moving into a trainee consultant role at that point, where they'll be talking to other graduates and they're talking to their own clients at that point. And then moving from that, they will then, if they want a career in management side, we'll then gear them up into developing new resources, new researchers that go out and find the young graduates at universities, and they'll take one of those under their wing and develop a team that way. So really, much of the things we do here is homegrown people, which we've found over the last 10 years has been the best way of getting the best people in the company. We've also developed a system where the candidates and the staff work hand in hand really to get the very best out of them. So we work closely with all of it. We look at trainers and we look at outsourcing our training as well to 3 specific companies that work closely with us and develop our teams.
We see the development and training of our staff as a critical part of our business. So every new member of Madison Black will be taken on board and put onto a 12-week induction program. Through there, they'll be taken through every single aspect that makes someone successful in the job, and they'll be sent through to a group-wide training program. On top of that, they'll be put on a 12-month training career development program, where they'll go through different courses of refreshers throughout that time.
Being employed is a bit like running a race. You can clearly see the start point, you can see the finish line off in the distance, and you can envision your victorious medal ceremony taking place on the other side. If you're going to win the race, you're going to have to do some running. The day-to-day footwork that gets you to your podium finish. If you don't enjoy that daily sprint, then the medals are always going to be out of reach, and you may as well forget about the national anthem. So, as a recruitment consultant, what is that daily run going to consist of, and what's it like?
An average day in a recruitment company really starts quite early. They need to be here from 8 to 8:30 and be on the phones and get going straight away. So there's no time and lag effect in a job in recruitment, because you've got candidates starting for jobs that day. You need to make sure they're in the company, they've started work, they're all happy. You also then spend a lot of your day interviewing new candidates for clients. So they'll spend 3 to 4 hours a day meeting new graduates, selecting the best ones, putting them through psychometric tests to check that they are suitable for those roles. The other part of the day is spent seeing your client and meeting new clients or existing companies to check out their recent needs. And then also on the phone, doing the matching of the candidates they saw into those jobs and making sure they suit the roles and put the very, very best for those particular clients they're looking after.
A typical day in the life of a recruitment consultant is really varied, and that's one of the things that attracts people to the industry. No 2 days are the same. You'll carry through a mixture of tasks, both searching for and registering candidates for new vacancies that you're working for, visiting clients, performing presentations with clients in order to provide our services to that organisation.